Welcome everyone in live to the Daytona International Speedway. It's the PGR eSports PGR 500 recruitment race, and this may very well be the last one we have as the field looks to be sold out for the 2026 PGR 500. On row number one, it'll be Kelly Akron and Joshua Highball. On row number two here tonight, we're going to have to go pretty quick through these. Unfortunately, in row number two, Max Steinda and Corey Taylor. And row number three, it'll be Gage Wenzel and Cody Rhodes. On row number four here tonight, it'll be Mike Allen and Vince Henschel. On row number five, it will be Matthew Patton and Nathan Harper. On row number six here tonight, it will be John Van Blerkamp and Joey Allen. On row number seven will be Jeffrey Goodpaster and Lee Gignock. On row number eight, it will be Austin Mitchell and Tony Green. On row number nine, Quentin Steinbach and Nick Seipel. And row number 10, it'll be Mike Childs and Riley Bailey. And unfortunately, that's all we can show you for now, is these drivers getting ready to go green here at Daytona International Speedway. The green flag in the air. Back here live, we were letting you guys hear these engines come to full song and taking the sights and sounds here, and all heck broke loose on the racetrack. Nearly the entire field engulfed in smoke here, and wow, what a wreck to start tonight here on lap number two. We are going to have to go to the replay of this one. A massive wreck and big implications tonight as drivers try to find their way into the PGR 500 for free, and the money racers here tonight going for the top five in cash payouts. What a wreck here. And man, there's gonna be some cars heading to pit lane. No fast repairs here tonight. So this is definitely going to call a lot of these cars down onto pit lane. And wow, what a big one here. And we'll take you back here in just a second to the yellow flag. And a big one as you see some cars coming down pit lane. And we're going to go right back here to that yellow flag. We'll be joined momentarily by Matthew Baker, who's on race control and broadcast up here with me. And let's take a look here. I believe we had a few incidents here on the track at the same time that led to this big one here. And keep an eye right there. Sanchez goes to the bottom of the racetrack. And they start wrecking here up in the front. And that's what starts this. There's the number 12 car up and into the fence. And that's Cody Rhodes. And everyone piles on in. Taylor looks to avoid it. He can't. Nash Brambilla involved. Kyler Wynn gets a piece of it. Craighead's getting turned here by Hunter Hastings. There you see Josh McCullough involved in this. Look, just a massive, massive wreck to start the race tonight. Let's go back here and get another look. Apologies here for the replay. It's going to start up here. And keep an eye on Rhodes here in the number 12 as he gets into high ball. Sends the 48 high ball up the racetrack. High ball hits the wall. Here comes the 29 right into the back of the number 12. And that's what starts this one. And just a massive wreck. Harper gets through, I do believe, barely. There goes Joey Allen. He's going to careen into the outside wall. The 62, Vetlandon Velicki, he's involved. I mean, I can't even begin to list the amount of drivers. Call, Boundy, he's trying to fight out of this one. Nick Seipel, Steinbach, Dylan Jones. And that's one of the biggest wrecks I have seen here in a long time. But if you were up front, that was going to be the place to be. As we see some cars coming off pit lane here. Like I said, no fast repairs, so having to get a lot of damaged fix here tonight. And we'll bring in Matthew Baker here and see what he saw here to start tonight's first yellow flag.
Yes, it looks like hit ball comes down just a little bit there from the middle lane. And as he does, it looks like Cody Rhodes gets into the back of him. So just call that a racing deal. Hit ball he was probably going to make contact with Max Dinda there on that bottom lane no matter what. But yeah, just going to call it a racing deal there. Unfortunately, it was a very big wreck to start that one.
Yeah, and we'll go up here and go all the way up to the front now as Max Dinda now leads it here. He'll lead Gage Wenzel, who's in second, Kelly Akron in third. Mike Allen is up to fourth, Jeffrey Goodpaster fifth. So a lot of new drivers here up in the front. And this is a big field here tonight. Sold out here session, but a lot of new drivers coming out here to try to win a last-minute free entry into the 2026 PGR 500. A good chance of it being sold out here tonight. We were thinking about having a recruit race tomorrow, but we might remove those 3 free positions and let those get sold as well with how high demand is at the moment for the 500. So this could be the last chance for these drivers, and some of them have been trying for the last month and a half. We saw one go here a couple nights ago to Tushin, who, man, he scratched and clawed his way. He actually had to get lucky that somebody bailed. So some of these drivers, I'll tell you what, they put a lot of time into trying to qualify into next week's big event for free. So we do appreciate those guys coming out each and every week. You see Matt Patton up here now. He's up to the 7th position. He's a regular money racer here, as is Michael Barksdale back in 9th. And Nathan Harper, probably one of the favorites here tonight with Kyler Wynn to win this race, as Harper now is into the top 10. So long way to go here still. 40 laps to go in this heat race. And Matthew Baker, I am looking forward to next week. This was a good day for us, obviously, here at PGR eSports, just with everything going on. A lot of stuff you and I haven't been able to even announce just yet. But nonetheless, 300 entries for the second annual PGR 500.
Yeah, we got a sold-out session, and probably may add some more. But really, really excited for this PGR 500. We got real-life driver Roger Carruth in the Dale Junior Motorsports number 88 going to come out and try his luck in PGR 500. So good to see a real-life driver come out here and hang it out with the best and try and get up here and make a little bit of money.
Well, here he goes. The pace car is going to hit pit lane once again. This will be the second restart here of tonight's race. The dude wipes. Number 48 is going to take the green flag here. And we are off and running once again. Gage Wenzel here on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to, actually, he's not going to go up. He's going to stay on the bottom as Dinda comes on down 2x2 throughout the field. We'll see if we can get some green flag racing in. It's been a little hectic tonight. I know you guys did not get to see the heat races, but probably better off you didn't. Not the best heat race here tonight, but hopefully we'll get a better feature here. And I know these drivers are fighting for a lot, so it could get a little crazy out here tonight. And do have about 22 money racers, I do believe, here in the field tonight, about that amount going for the paid positions. So those guys also have to battle these guys looking for the free entry. So it is definitely going to be a tough race to win here tonight. Another guy I'm looking at, Baker, is the number 34 here tonight, is Sean Boundy.
Yeah, Sean Downey, very good qualifier. Single file here on the bottom. A lot of cars stranded out back. Probably going to lose this back. See a little 3 wide going up. Here's the middle of it. It's like Josh McCullough trying to look there on the high side. The middle's going to stack. This bottom line absolutely dominant here. This is one of our first sessions that we run in the middle of the day, so it's nice. It's good to see what this setup is going to do for the big race. To see what we're pushing happen. But you know, we don't have as many money racers in here as we would have liked. It's nice that we have a bunch of new cars, but you can just tell that there's a little bit of a skill gap.
Yeah, absolutely. Now 3 wide. Wow, the big red car actually has to go underneath the apron there for just a second. He's going to gather it up, but we are now 3 wide here in the tribal on exit here. Dinda still leads down into turn number 1. Wenzel's doing a great job right now pushing that number 48. Here comes Mike Allen in the 41. He's looking good at the moment as well. Nathan Harper, he's going to lead that middle lane, and like I said, he's going to be one of the favorites here tonight if he can keep that number 4 Dallas Cowboy machine clean. We'll have to contend with Kyler Wynn as well, who's 3 behind him at the moment. Austin Mitchell now, here he goes. He's pushing Harper really good here right now. Dylan Jones as well. So that's the foursome I'm looking at right now here on that high lane. And that lane has definitely been the one of choice here in the MRL here the past couple days. But they are running the iRacing Fix set. This is a custom set. It's the official sponsor and official setup sponsor of the PGR 500 from Team Watson Racing Setup. So a little bit more racier than the iRacing set, and these drivers figuring it out here tonight.
Yeah, you see Nathan Harper, Kyler Wynn, they get caught up together. They are now going to be leading there. They spit out Dylan Jones and Austin Mitchell, who had a great run to the front, but now they're back to about 10th. You can see how fast it happens here at Daytona. The middle line very preferred here. There's no momentum really built up on that bottom lane unless they get 3 pushers that really know what they're doing. Gotta be hard to stop these top 3. You got Cameron Craig, Josh McCullough sitting there in 4th place, Kyler Wynn, and Nathan Harper. The cream is rise to the top. Michael Barksdale there as well. We're going to top 5 mini racers.
Yeah, and they really have come to the top here. And, you know, we had some issues here in the heat race. And I try not to get into it with some people that come on in. But, you know, these are recruit races for the PGR 500. And like you said, Baker, tonight, you know, there's a lot of money racers not in this event tonight. They were either shut out of the session once it got full, and or some of them are over racing in the event, I believe, the Florida 500. So, you know, only 22 money racers here tonight. We've been getting around 35 to 40 in these events. So, you know, you get, like you said, a lot of new racers. So the racing is definitely going to be a little dicey here, especially as these drivers, a lot of these drivers haven't ran this setup here on iRacing before. You know, they're used to the custom fixed set. They're also racing for, you know, a free spot in the 500. So they are on edge. But here we go. I mean, the top drivers right now: Nathan Harper, Kyler Wynn, Cameron Craighead, Josh McCullough. I mean, those 4 right there at the front. You would think they were going to make it here. Here they are. Dylan Jones in the top 10. Barksdale, another name that we see, and it's pretty much all money racers here filling up most of the top 10.
And Cord Taylor, great driver in the Road to Pro Series. He's now top 5 for him to make a little bit of noise. Gage Wenzel pushing him. Max Dinda pushing Barksdale on the bottom. But still just 2x2 here. Very calm racing going on. A little bit of 3 wide action towards the back. You see Dylan Jones. He doesn't have any help to go to the top side, but not going to get much help that he's looking for. Then you look towards the back. You got 5 cars. 10 cars here off the pace, separated into 5 packs here, into 2 separate packs with big checkup on the top here in this front pack. And now the bottom starts to surge a little bit forward. You get Max Dinda hook there on the bottom, pushing Michael Barksdale, and you got Matthew Patton as well. There you go. Bottom side gonna pull even here out of 4.
Yeah, even out of 4. Now it's a little bit tamer racing, and that's starting to actually be some really good racing here. Ooh, as Harper has to go, he's forced out of position. He has to go all the way to the 3rd. We have 1 off. Caution will not come out for that. 3 wide now. Nathan Harper makes the save. He's going to get collected here by Dylan Jones. That's a good thing for him. The 0-0 here, I believe. Barksdale, I'm not quite sure. Getting used to some of these schemes. Kyler Wynn's going to lead that middle lane. with Craighead here. And yeah, Nathan Harper, though, is going to have to fight back, and that he's going to do. Dylan Jones, a really good driver for him to try to get him back up to the front. Dinda, though, he is falling back with the 41 here as that bottom lane has to try to get back up here to the front. As that top lane now starting to surge here. 13 laps in, we had a quick caution here in tonight's race, and so far so green since then. As these drivers look to hopefully make a green flag stop tonight. Only 45% fuel in these next gens tonight.
And Matt Patton, the unfortunate one there, when the checkup happened. Barstow, just like he really was hesitant to go up to the top, got it split pretty wide, and then you had Harper trying to take advantage of it, and Patton became the lost up there on the bottom, slid through pit road, but he was able to save a great save by him. He stuck between the two packs of the slower 10 drivers there, the two packs of 5. So hopefully, big wreck here.
Yellow flag is out, a wreck somewhere in the back of this pack, and yellow flag is out. As we just had some really good green flag racing. You saw Max Dinda there as well before the caution. He fell back to the back end of this pack. But we did not see the wreck live here. I believe it came way in the back of the pack. So we're going to go back here to PGR eSports replay and try to find out here what happened on the racetrack to bring out the second caution flag here of the night. Here's where it's going to come from. Dean Elhert, sorry to pronounce your name wrong here. 31, a Maxwell Caldwell involved. So let's go back
Starts with
here.
Quentin Steinbach and Sean Boundy. Looks like a check up on the top, and Quentin Steinbach gets in the left rear. Sean Boundy around. And then there's a checkup behind as well. So two separate incidents as they're checking up.
Well, here's the Steinbach one. As you see, Steinbach in the 22. And the Wyoming Cowboys, yep, he's going to offset push the 34 of Boundy. That puts Boundy down the racetrack here as Akron comes in. Man, Akron got a little bit lucky there. And then as Baker alluded to, a little bit farther on back, that's where you're going to see another checkup happen right here with Dean Ellert. As he gets driven into the back of here by, I believe, the 22. And that sends him careening up into the outside fence. That's the 31 of Caldwell. So Caldwell really takes the hardest hit here. And watch that one again, because it was a vicious hit to the outside wall. As you see Boundy right there, they start checking up. And yeah, the 22 did not feel like checking up. And that's ultimately what got the 31 turned up the racetrack.
We were talking about it last night in the Discord. We need to do another under the influence broadcast after we get through the 500. We watched a couple of those. I think the Sunday Fun Day races would be the best ones that we do those for, because some of these races need a couple drinks. And this isn't turning out to be one of them, but that Arca break will lead to someone having some sort of drink.
Yeah, I'm going to need a lot of drinks here next Sunday night. That's for sure, after the PGR 500, because it is going to be one heck of a week. I remember last year and all the work it was. Well, this year we decided to add at least, I think, 2 days of events. So a lot more racing here next week. I mean, it's 7 straight days, Monday through Sunday, of nonstop action. And there's going to be a lot of work behind the scenes. We do want to thank all of our production crew coming over here from Precision. Those guys are amazing. That is Precision Entertainment, is DJ as well as Christian over there. They're going to come out, help us out for the entire week. So every race will be produced. As always, Dawson Wise and Austin Green, our lead commentators here at PGR eSports, will carry most of the races as your lead commentator. You'll have myself and Matthew Baker on a lot of the race control. We'll also be joining them in the booth as well. And it should be a great experience, a great event next week for the PGR 500. Last year, 240 entries. This year, going to be 300 entries. So got to the goal this year. It's going to be $3,000 guaranteed to the race winner. It'll be one of the biggest payouts in money racing history if you add them all up from top to bottom, that's for sure. And
excited for it. Definitely one of the bigger purses for sure when it comes to any sort of race across the iRacing service besides the Pro Series. I think we're paying out way more than anyone out there.
Yeah, well, it's awesome here at PGR too. If you're new here, you can come out every Thursday night. Most throughout the year, not too many off weeks. We race most every Thursday for money as well. We do have a Monday league that'll come back. That's the PGR Light Series, where we remove a lot of the NASCAR pros out of that series. We do remove a lot of the guys that have a lot of wins in PGR, a lot of podiums. So it's a little bit lighter as far as the talent, but it's just as fun. It's a really good series. That'll start back up sometime in February as well. And I think this coming season will be season number 4. And we're going to change it up and head to a little chase format for the playoffs. More so kind of replicate the real life changes and kind of do things a little bit differently. Been thinking about that. So keep that in mind here as we turn the page on the PGR 500 after next week to the next season of the Light Series. And not too long from now, too, it'll be the start of March Madness, another crown jewel here in PGR eSports. Start at the end of February. That's a knockout bracket style event, and that's one of my favorite events of the year for sure, is the March Madness. So that's coming up as well. But here we go. We're also coming up to a green flag as Cameron Craighead, your new leader, on the top, Kyler Wynn on the bottom, as we come to the restart zone, and the green flag back in the air at Daytona.
Noticed it here on the restarts here that the bottom is the place to go for sure. So we're missing the shift. But you see the bottom 1, 2, 3, almost 8 cars now, 9 cars. Oh! They're all gonna check up though.
74 of Brian Hennings. He's off the pace, so he's going to take the grunt of this one as we stay green. Sorry for some of the camera work there. And back up front, Craighead leads. Single file line here. Now about 9-10 cars deep until you get to 2 wide. So this could be the break some of these drivers needed here in the pack. So maybe get to a green flag stop as we're now approaching lap number 20 tonight. But unfortunate there for Hennings. He is now back in 35th. We do have 5 drivers off the pace here tonight. 3 of them already on the pit, so
yeah, maybe should have thrown a caution there, but they kept it straight. A lot of people got out of the gas, so probably throw a caution there the next time that happens. But Josh McCullough not clear there.
Well, these drivers up front, they've picked up what happened there. They know there is a break in this pack. And let's go to the back of this pack. It's Michael Barksdale in 16th in the big red machine. And right now, these drivers, they're being smart. They know, hey, we're in the top 16 at the moment. Let's just ride around. We broke this second pack here, and now we'll go back to that second pack. It's led by Hunter Hastings. He's in the 17th position at the moment. And if you go all the way to the back of this pack, it's Josh McCullough in 29th. So, you know, and they're all single file, so not likely a caution's going to come out. And I believe we're going to maybe finally get around a green flag stops unless the second group starts picking it up, and they are. They're 2 wide here. And we'll see if Hastings can catch somehow this lead pack. And if they do, which I think they are, Baker, it's going to bring them right back together.
Oh my gosh, they're way off the pace in the front. I'm sorry to cut you off. They're 181. I mean, here comes the second pack. I think they're trying to save fuel here. So that's going to work out for them to get back up to the pack. They stayed single file, and they're really trying to save fuel, so we're down to a fuel save race here.
Be on board here with Hunter Hastings. You see 196 miles an hour, almost 198 here into turn number 3. They have caught the main pack. So great job here by this second pack to get back up front. So that's going to bring all 20, that's going to be 29 drivers back into this thing in total with the lead group. And now it's going to be either a caution or we're going to get to a green flag stop. If you're in the chat tonight, what do you guys think? We're going to get to that green flag stop, or we're going to have another yellow flag here? As Kyler Wynn now, a great push here down the backstretch to Craighead. Austin Mitchell, Dylan Jones, and Austin Call now here in your top 5.
And we've got the top 25 cars back in the lead draft here. The 3 wide towards the middle of that. Kyler Wynn pushing Cameron Craighead.
23 laps to go. Practically halfway here. And what could be the last recruit race as Kyler Wynn goes to the bottom here. But a big run from Austin Mitchell here on top. Austin Call pushing him. Those two drivers doing really good at the moment. Barksdale off pace. He's underneath the apron, as is Max Dinda. Nathan Harper trying to get back in this. And the 60 as well. I believe 60 is Jeffrey Goodpaster. And the Night Vision Napa Toyota. Good looking paint scheme right there. As we are back to 3 wide. Baker, not quite sure we're going to make it to that green flag stop if these drivers going to keep that green, or sorry, that 3 wide racing up here in the tri-oval. As we do go around a lap car here, thankfully on the apron. But action picking up again here in the front of the field.
And you see they're running the middle on the top lines. No real movement out of the bottom, but that middle absolutely digging here. No real help around them. Nathan Harper giving a push to Kyler Wynn. Behind Nathan Harper is Hunter Hastings. Nathan Harper, oh, gonna wreck towards the back here.
Caution flag out with 22 laps to go. That's going to help for sure Brian Hennings, who is just trying to hang on here. It helps Lee Gignock as well, as he now will be able to get back here amongst your leaders. So these couple cars definitely happy to see the yellow flag. As we'll go back here and take a peek and try to figure out exactly what brings out this yellow flag here. And it's going to happen here, I believe, with Cameron Craighead. As we hop up here in tonight's Goodyear blimp. And watch the 48 here. Right behind the number 42. As Craig, yeah, I think it's just 2 cars meeting in the middle. Yeah. You see the 48 go up to fill the spot. The 36 comes down. Unfortunately there for the 42 and a couple other cars here tonight. They're going to get caught up in that one. But racing incident here between Craighead and the Tom's Ford. Trying to catch a name on that. I believe that's Wenzel. So Gage Wenzel trying to fill the spot there in the middle, as was Craighead from the bottom, and they come together there. But could have been bigger. And luckily for some of these drivers, not too bad here as we go back here up front and live. And your race leader now, Kyler Wynn. We'll take a quick break here live in the PGR eSports Network and get a couple word from our sponsors.
When you're looking for a setup and a community that stands behind it. Team Watson Racing Setups. Serious setups. For drivers who are done guessing.
Pressure rising with the spark. One wrong move and you fall apart. So brace yourself, don't blink. As we go down in flames. One lap, one shot, one chance to take it all. No fear.
Back here live at Daytona here for the PGR eSports PGR 500 recruit race. Green flag back in the air. Nathan Harper here, your leader on the high side. Kyler Wynn has made his way to the front, as has Josh McCullough in the 05. It's been an eventful night so far. This could be the last opportunity for a new driver to get into the PGR 500 free of charge, and we're going to have another big one. Another big wreck, and a big name driver, Cameron Craighead, on the money racing scene. He's a part of it, but it looks like he's actually going to be able to get back here, spin that car around, and stay straight. So a lot of these new drivers tonight, unfortunately, not able to keep these race cars going, Matthew. It just seems like they're having trouble here racing for, obviously, free entry into the 500, but right now these guys struggling to come to grips with the setup and the track here tonight, as the money racers here all in the front of the field for the most part. And obviously that's where they want to be, because if you get stuck here in the back, you just don't know what's going to happen here tonight. Well, let's go and talk a little bit more about the PGR 500 and what's coming up. And we sent out a message today with the top 30 in iRating, and just looking up and down that list of drivers, and that was earlier today, and we added since then. But you got Sean Conklin, Adam Garza, Jacob Wilkerson, Michael Guest, Dylan Alt, Daniel Falkingham, Colin Keister. Got names like Zach Novak, Briar LaPrade, Michael Cozy Jr., Malik Ray, and you have a big name right here on the list. That's Raja Caruth. As Raja Caruth, driver for Junior Motorsports, he'll be in the event next week. You have Cody Neagles. He has won one of the biggest events in the past. So, I mean, just a long list, and it just goes on and on from there. And we've seen it in the past. A lot of these drivers usually are able to qualify through at least to Saturday's events. Obviously, a few of them will get knocked out, but the cream always still rises to the top. And I wouldn't be surprised if the winner of the 2026 PGR 500 comes from a list of those drivers.
Super excited to put this list together. I know it's going to be a couple long days for us trying to get all the lists compiled up. But when we get it done, we'll get the heats posted. And, the hype starts up. The side bets start for each heat. It's probably one of my favorite things. I think I won $200 in side bets last year, just based off a random draw with the wheel and getting qualifying position. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. The most excited I am for though is our pole shuffle, our pole shootout. It's gonna be wild. Cannot wait for that pole shootout. You got your top 2 finishers in each heat race going to a pole shootout. 24 drivers racing for a shot.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, I believe that was your idea last year, and that was one of the best ideas because like I've said it numerous times, it's beating a dead horse, but I'm super excited for Friday night. I think that is going to be electrifying. You're most likely going to have, it's going to be a de facto all-star race. I mean, we just read off those names of drivers that are at the top 30 in iRating coming into the PGR 500. And the fields will be snakes, so all the fields will have a similar strength of field there. But, you're going to have a practical 24-driver all-star race. Make it a random name, sneak in there too. But I think you're going to have 24 of the best on iRacing next Friday night. And only 2 drivers in that field can lock themselves into the feature. So, that is going to be wild watching those drivers race for the top 2 spots on the last couple laps because, that could really, make or break your entire week because who knows if you're going to get out of the duels the following day. So, that is going to be a spectacle in itself. There's payout positions as well for that this year. So, I'm looking forward to that. Obviously, a ton. The duels, obviously, are always great as well. Last year's feature, even Baker, I know last year's feature was a really good race, a lot better than the SummerSlam 499. We had a really long green flag run that Sunday.
Yeah, and, it had everything. We had the late race caution, we had the late race finish, the green white checkers that everyone looks for when it comes to this super speedway racing. But we had that long green flag run was awesome. We just saw what teams could execute on pit road, and not even teams really, just what cars could execute on pit roads, who could survive the attrition of Daytona and 500 miles. We have a lot of money racers that dominate out here that are very good, but 500 miles, it's a totally different beast. There's a lot of drivers out here that, it just takes a different gear to run 500 miles, especially with the top 40 drivers in iRacing when it comes to super speedway racing. To stay up front and just keep that mental focus. It's pretty awesome.
Got some trolls in the chat here tonight. Of course, we're going to have those. But you know what? They could sit on the sidelines and watch everyone else race for $3,000 next week. Because we're going to have a ton of fun doing it. That is for sure. And it's going to be one of the biggest races of the year.
Wasted wrong, so it's okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he can be less excited. That's their prerogative. We have fun no matter what. The heat races probably give me a shit show, but they're a lot of fun. I think it's gonna be a good time. Heat races, LCQs are basically a toss up, but when you get to the feature, it's the 40 best drivers again on the surface.
Yeah, and that's the difference of talent gap. That you come out on a Thursday night and you see the best of the best in super speedway racing. You come out here tonight and you're putting a lot of new drivers out there on the track as the green flag is back in the air. These drivers, like I said, they just don't have the experience running super speedways like Harper and Hastings and Wynn, McCullough, Seipel, Bounty, Jones, Matt Patton. Most all the top 10 are money racers, and those aren't the guys getting caught up in the wrecks. It's a lot of these new drivers fighting for positions and trying to get a free entry to the 500. And when we turn the page to next week, you're going to have some good heats, you're going to have some bad heats. But I'll tell you what, when you get to those duels next Saturday and you put 20 drivers in duel 1, 40 drivers in duel 1 and 40 drivers in duel 2, those are going to be the two best races, I believe, of the week, hands down. I remember last year how good those dual races were, and I'm looking forward to those as well, because you're going to see some really good racing next Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, we're talking about I-rating mattering for Super Speedway. That you can throw I-rating out the window when you come to a Super Speedway race. It's totally different than in your regular official races. You put 4 of these money racers in an official race, they'll go out and lead all the laps and win the race. It's a totally different ball game when you're talking about putting money in the picture, and you're seeing it here. You're seeing Nick Seipel, Kyler Wynn, and Nathan Harper, teammates there, leading the middle. You got Sean Bounty behind you. Doing a great job, though. I know he had an injury. Great job, able to maintain his line there in the middle.
Man, I should have dialed that injury photo up here on the broadcast tonight, because, man, that is a trooper right there. That was one of the most interesting posts and pictures I've seen in quite a while. I'll tell you what, if Bounty's able to keep rolling through the PGR 500 somehow next week, we're going to have to get that some TV time live on the PGR eSports Network, because Sean Bounty fighting through some pain in the race at the moment. 3 wide, action going to start heating up here. 12 laps to go here. That third lane's a coming. The middle lane's a train at the moment, as now Nathan Harper, and I sponsored him in tonight. Hopefully I didn't jinx him there, but I'd love to see Nathan Harper go to victory lane. As you see the 75 of Seipel, he's going to transition to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to go up and block. Hopefully it doesn't take out the field. I think it's going to do it. Nope, they all stay green. 4 wide, 5 wide, all the way to the blue. They're going to start wrecking, I believe, in the center of the racetrack. And there they go. Nick Seipel made that mistake, and I think it checked up a lot of this field. So a costly mistake by one of the veterans here in the field. And I think they were able to save it after that, but I think there was just too much congestion, got backed up there into the tri-oval. So Matthew Baker going to have a lot of work to do as he goes back and looks at that one. And that'll put us under 10 to go here tonight. 5th caution flag of the night. All chalk at the top. Harper, Wynn, and McCullough. You would say those are your 3 favorites coming into this race. And you don't want to count out Sean Bounty. He might not come out money race all the time in the big money race promotions, but when he does come out, he's a very talented driver, so he can slice and dice with the best of them. As we will go back here. And I'm gonna take a look at Nick Seipel, because I think Nick Seipel ends up checking up a lot of this field here when he makes this block. And we'll get here in the Goodyear blimp again. And keep an eye on Nick Seipel here in the 75. So he's going to transition here to the bottom of the racetrack. He wants to find a way around Kyler Wynn and Nathan Harper. He sees the run of Hastings coming. Hastings is going to go to the top of the track because he is clear to do so. It's close, but he is. The problem is Seipel follows him up. Hastings has to back out of the gas, and they start checking up behind. Craighead actually might have caused this farther back because Seipel's able to hold it. Nope, they're actually going to keep it together here. Even in spite of what happened there with Craighead. Or sorry, Seipel. But watch this. Now, I mean, you're 4 wide here all the way down underneath the apron. And I think, oh, there's the problem right there, Childs. So this could have been avoided here. But Michael Childs comes down the racetrack. If he just stayed up, I believe they would have saved this. Landon Velke involved again. He's having a tough night here tonight. He can't be happy, I know that. Steinbach looks like, oh, he doesn't get through it. He's going to get hit at the last second. But Childs ultimately makes the final mistake that put the nail in the coffin here to bring out the yellow flag.
Yeah, that's a lot going on there. I'm probably just going to call it one a racing deal. But Seipel's block wasn't great. Didn't cause the wreck, however. Craighead goes 4 wide like he called. Childs right before that at the exit of turn 4 kind of puts Bounty in the wall. So you had 3 real different wrecks that caused that whole thing. And I hope you tune in. It's not 3K Wreck Fest, it's $10,500. Get it right there.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. Over $10,000 in the prize pool. It's just $3,000 to the race winner. So prize is going to be to the heat winners. You're going to have prizes to the dual winners, the LCQ winners. You're going to have cash prizes as well in that pool shootout, and you're going to pay out every single driver that makes the feature. That's what's cool. So you get to that feature race, you're amongst the 40 to 43 that make that field. You will be at least getting some sort of money back for racing the PGR 500. Obviously, the biggest payout's going to be in the top 10, especially the top 3 positions. But nonetheless, great payouts throughout and a lot of fun to be had. John Ward in the chat tonight. You got to put him on the list as well. If he could stay out of trouble to make the feature race next Sunday. I do believe John Ward has a provisional into the duel via Chris Carter Racing sponsorship. So John Ward can fall back on that if need be. So that's what's cool about PGR as well, is when we do these big events, and we offer a lot of sponsorship, but we also provide a lot of value back. So our 2 biggest sponsors, that towing company, that's our flagship sponsor next week. And you also have, like I said, Chris Carter Racing, which is our title sponsor. Those 2 get provisionals actually into the feature race. So actually the feature race, and I believe John will be in the feature race no matter what. I have to go back and check the records there. And then you have Jeff Merck for NBG Motorsports. He will have a dual provisional. And Dad Bod as well, Dad Bod Studios. So want to thank all those guys. Those guys put the biggest chunks of change in to pay for all the expenses of the 2026 PGR 500. And that allows all the race entry fees to go into the race purse. 100%, not one dime taken for any expense and or any profit to PGR. It's all, every single all 300 entries. $9,000 goes to the pot, and we're also injecting $1,000 into the pot, maybe more, who knows, from the PGR eSports fund. So we give back to the drivers here, and that's what's cool as well. And man, I'm looking forward to it.
This is going to be a good one for sure. They catch up here coming into turn 3. Josh McCullough in a great spot, but Nathan Harper, Kyler Wynn done a great job working together. Hastings been doing good supporting him as well. Ryan Bailey, good recovery for him after he had that drive-through, so very, very good for him.
Well, let's rack them up. Let's see if we can get to the end here. Nathan Harper, Kyler Wynn, take the green flag. 7 laps to go here at Daytona.
Right up to the top after that restart. Now you're going to see the middle really rolling, Hastings, Bounty, Kyler Wynn pushing, Max Dinda back there as well.
Yeah, 2 wide throughout the field at the moment, as we expect a really good finish here between the 4 and the 82 tonight if they're able to stay up front. I believe Sean Boundy, though, is going to... Ooh, we're going to have a big one here mid-pack. They are wrecking again in the middle of this pack. These guys just cannot stop wrecking here tonight.
I mean, he's got a point in the chat, I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. You put a bunch of guys that are new here into a big super speedway race, this is bound to happen, unfortunately. A lot of these have had regulars making up about 70-80% of the field. Tonight, it's completely flipped. As a lot of the new drivers heard, hey, this is our shot at getting in without having to pay a $30 entry fee. We're going to go out and try it. And tonight, unfortunately, the racing is paying the price just a little bit here. And if you are in the middle of the pack this race, it is just tough sledding here.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, there's a difference between the open races that we have here and the heat races that we're going to do. You know, these are just a bunch of random people that are coming into the session trying to get a free entry. They're not our regulars that we see. So I think you're going to see a little bit different racing starting Monday.
Yeah, more of a stack up here. Stacks up back into Matthew Patton. Brian Hennings is going to get the grunt of this one as well. And they just start turning and wadding him up here in the center of the racetrack. Barksdale involved, as is Taylor. Landon Velicky, he's a magnet here tonight. Can only imagine all the words he is saying over in the Jack Shack Discord tonight. And I'm sure he is making a lot of people laugh that are over there because he is having a heck of a night. Nick Seipel actually involved in this one as well. John Ellis in the chat having some fun, telling Ant 13 games to take a lap. Well, I do not believe we'll be heading to overtime. So hopefully when we do go back green here, we can have a race to the green, or sorry, to the checkered flag. It's been a long night here tonight, heat and this feature race. But you would expect right now your top 6, those drivers, the top 6, the winner's going to come from there, that's for sure. They've been holding that spot down for most of the night, the 4 and the 82. It's just going to come down to track position here. And coming out of turn number 4 in the move, whoever's in second and or third is going to make to try to snatch this win away from who's ever leading. Yeah, I believe it did. I have not seen, I've been doing this for 3 years here, PGR. And it's third, actually happy birthday to PGR. What time is it here? Let's see. About 6 minutes, and it's the 3rd birthday for PGR eSports. And yeah, 3 years, and that might have been the biggest one I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of big ones. We've been officiating and calling races and promoting races and racing in races like these and other promotions as well. And that might have been the biggest wreck I've seen. 28 cars.
Yeah.
Not, you know, you would think you would have seen it by now, but 28's a lot. I don't think I've seen 28.
I do not think it's we're going to take the 1 to go here. We'll have 3 laps to go. Take the green flag, a 3-lap shootout. Just enough time to get the 3rd lane working on the white flag. We'll see if we can get it there.
Yeah, 3 laps to decide this one. Now, if we do get another caution flag before we take the white flag, we'll go to overtime, but only 1 green-white checker here. We made that rule change at some point in 2025 so that we did not have, obviously, team manipulation or anything such like that, providing more cautions at the end of the race. And I've seen a lot of races cost people here in the past too, when we've had, you know, multiple green-white checkers. Heck, I've seen unlimited, and you know, drivers who were good on fuel ended up not being good on fuel because of all the wrecks at the end. So we eliminated kind of that, and I think it's been a lot better since. Last thing you want to do is extend a race out for another 30-40 minutes having multiple green-white checkers. So 1 has been enough. That's been the ticket here in PGR eSports now for quite a while. So if we do get there, it'll be just 1 and done. We'll run it out, so it will not end under the yellow flag. It'll be interesting to see the restart here with Nathan Harper and Kyler Wynn. Max Steinda, though, he's up here as well. We'll see if he can make a move up to the front. And I'd like to see them run these three laps clean, but like I said multiple times tonight, there's a lot of drivers in this field who are trying to win a free entry into the 500, and they're going to do all they can to do it. Let's hope we see some good racing here at the end. And at the end of the race here tonight, I might have to take a quick break before we come back here live just to sort out some of the end with Baker here, but here we go. It is on here. It probably will be the last recruitment race for the 500 as the pace car hits pit lane. Kyler Wynn and Nathan Harper into the restart zone. Green flag back out.
Start on the bottom, Harper back up to the top, gonna line up the bottom though. The bottom's gonna get tandem, however. Bottom lane gonna form up pretty nicely here going into turn 1 as you see Harper leading that outside lane with Kyler and Sean Bounty. Josh McCullough pushing behind. You got Dinda pushing Hastings on the bottom with Matthew Patton. So all the money racers up front with one of the newer drivers, not newer drivers, but comes out for the bigger races, Sean Bounty there in the middle.
Yeah, Bounty now working on the back bumper of Kyler Wynn. As you see his onboard right here as it is crunch time here at Daytona. As we exit turn number 4 here in a second, Nathan Harper to the top of the racetrack in front of Kyler Wynn. I believe that's going to be the lane that is going to get the win here tonight. Kyler Wynn, that is. I would expect him to make a move coming to the start-finish line here at the end. 2 laps to go to decide it.
Going into turn 1, big stack up on the top. Bounty really not pushing on that top side. The bottom really gonna get one there, but Hastings not gonna get clear. That's gonna give the temps to the outside lane. You're gonna see the bottom really stack up here. No lifting from about 8 deep. Nathan Harper drops to the bottom, gonna give Kyler Wynn some air as they in the corner, entering 3 and 4, coming out of turn 4 for the white flag, but the bottom gonna have a big run with Hastings. He can stay in the drop.
Here we go. We're going to take the white flag. This race will be official. It's a drag race at the line between Wynn and Harper. Here comes the third lane as all heck is going to break loose. I think mid-pack on back. Harper, though, right now, he's just behind Kyler Wynn. Can Hunter Hastings push him to the win tonight?
Out of turn 2, Nathan Harper, Kyler Wynn, no help on the bottom. Oh, man, they're going to get turned. Just 2 by 2 here up at front. 4 wide for third place. Here comes the top lane. This ain't gonna work into 3. I'm telling you right now, Josh McCullough really stuck in a bad spot. Gonna keep going backwards. And here comes the wreck. Big wreck.
Look at Landon Veliky
leading the field here at 4.
Landon Veliky out of nowhere.
Veliky looking for it. He pulls to the inside. Gets the side draft. Can he get there? Kyler Wynn comes down for the speed match. Will he get it? Kyler Wynn goes to victory lane.
Unbelievable end, and I'll tell you what, it was a rough race here tonight, but those guys put on a show in the final 3 laps. Landon Veliky, I mean, he was caught up in just about every wreck tonight, and a money racer, and just as they always do, find their way through all hell through the field. And Landon Veliky, I don't even know where he came from. 21 spots to get to second, 34 for Kyler Wynn. What an amazing finish. As Wynn, Veliky, Craighead, Seipel, and Harper are your top 5. And unfortunately for Nathan Harper, he was going to have a shot at least a top 3, and he lost a lot of drafting help there on the backstretch during that wreck. But what a race to the finish here. Let's go back and show you the replay of this one. And watch this end here. This is just amazing racing to the line. And count them up. There's all your money racers. Kyler Wynn, Landon Veliky, Nathan Harper, Max Dinda, Cameron Craighead, Nick Seipel, Dylan Jones, and a couple sprinkled in amongst them. But like we said, all the money racers would come to the front. They did at the end. He had one blinking out there briefly on the bottom, coming off 4. And watch Kyler win. Just execute to perfection here. Landon Velicki goes underneath him right here. Kyler said, you know what? I'm going to stay up here. And we're going to speed match here all the way to the line. Bailey gets into Sanchez. And if you look at the leaderboard, it's Money Racers 1 through 7 on the chart. So, yeah, what a finish. They're bumping there at the line. Just some, oh, they both got into one another. Great racing there. And what a photo finish.
Yeah, we'll take a break here, get this top 3 figured out for the free entries.